Well, a lawyer and senior vice president of policy think tank Imani Africa, Kofi Bentil, says prosecutors in the ongoing Ofori Atta case have made what he describes as bad decisions that may end up benefiting the accused. Speaking on Newsfile a while ago, the legal practitioner questioned the seriousness of the prosecution after slapping 78 separate charges on this particular case. Now, according to him, such an approach exposes weaknesses in a case and increases the likelihood of the accused walking free.
Just saying, my point is, in a matter like this, where you have a very laser focus on one person, and then you dump all these other people in, you don't focus, and you bring 70 plus charges against the person. All right, you are not serious. Because if you were serious, you will know that these plenty things, only less than 10 are going to hook him and then send him where you want to. So let me finish.
Kofi,
let me finish. Let
me ask you this.
It is important for me because you see, these are the things we do, and then we will lose the case. Look, I'm telling you, read through the charges against Ken. He will walk with most of them, and he will use that to stretch this case. People have stretched their cases in this country for 8 years.
Former Minister for Land and Natural Resources, Inusa Fuseni, says assurances given by Ken Ofori Atta influenced public perception of the case. According to him, a letter submitted by Ken Ofori Atta to the office of the special prosecutor indicating his willingness to return to face prosecution, coupled with details of his medical condition, gave the public and state institutions assurances that he will cooperate with the ongoing process.
Why should Ken be different?
You see, you mentioned me, so let me take my 10 seconds.
Kofi, hold on.
Why should, you see,
I beg you, hold on.
I had thought, to be honest with you, I had thought that Ken will exercise his power, his right to voluntarily return to this country, especially given the circumstances under which he left. He had written to the Chief of Staff on humanitarian grounds that he was going to attend to himself, and copied the incoming Chief of Staff. He was given permission to go to attend to himself. Now everybody is believing, including the Office of the Special Prosecutor, that he was running away. Now that's what everybody, I believe that. Because the legal system...
The special prosecutor gave that impression. Bentil is telling you all of that was poisoning the air against him, that he's running away, when in fact at the time, all we knew was that he was
special prosecutor be poisoning when he had given the special prosecutor, when the special prosecutor issued the first notice, and I followed it, you followed it. And he said, well, I will come. He wrote a letter, said, I will come, and gave a specific date. The minority leader stood up in Parliament and confirmed the date that he will come. Everybody thought, yes, Ken will come. What changed?
Public engagement and partnerships at the Center for Democratic Development, Kofi Kojo Pumpuni Asante, says he hopes Ken Ofori Atta will honor commitment and submit himself to legal processes.
This is, if you are talking about serious medical report, like, why do you take that approach? So I think that when we do that, we are putting so much blame on as if that is the problem. The question I'm asking myself is, as all of you have mentioned, Mr. Ofori Atta is not, as I said, you say he's global, he has business interests and so on and so forth. Why would he, even if the trial go by absentia, that is not something that you want your reputation to be tarnished. So far, I haven't seen any processes. Of course, I don't know the red notice challenges, whether they were the processes were made public in terms of what was submitted. But there has not been any statement that says, I fear political persecution, that's why I'm not coming. It sounds like that is going to be. We may find out when this challenge the extradition may come. But the narrative from the beginning was that I have nothing to hide, I'm coming.
That's right.
It's just that I have this medical situation and so on. But as Kosi is saying, maybe that has changed. But we are yet to get, because it's also that.
So what do you know? Whilst you may be the wrong person to ask the question, perhaps to his lawyers, why is it that after all the deadlines have elapsed, is he still undergoing medical treatment? Why is it that at this point he's not making
that is the question, but it's, that's what I'm saying, that Kofi suggests that things have changed, maybe because of the actions he took on the red notice, the actions he may take on the extradition, but that he will be making a statement that he
the red notice and all those things, they become useless once he himself decides that.
Very much so. So that's what I'm saying, that we are being unfair to the USP when he has doubts about the claims about dates of. It's not the claims about that he might be doing surgery or not, but it's when you do the surgery, when you recover, all of those things. So that I am skeptical that you actually have an intention to come back, and that he has acted it. Yes, I mean, there have been excesses, maybe in terms of pronouncement, but I wouldn't say that because of that the air has been poisoned around Mr. Ofori Atta, and that's why one might suggest that there's political persecution.
Okay.
What's his name? Wuntumi. Why would it? Wuntumi? Then what would Wuntumi say? Because the public's, statements about. Then he will say that he will go and seek asylum in the U.S. embassy because he would think that that's. So I think that we for me, I would wish that yes, he would avail himself. And go through the process, because as I said, even the stain, beyond, because Ofori Atta has dedicated his life to this country for many, many years. So I don't know what the end game is.
Issues and the Senior Vice President of Imani Africa, Kofi Bentil, has called for the creation of judges who will have exclusive responsibility over election petition cases. Now, speaking on Newsfile, he urged an end to Supreme Court rulings on election petitions, emphasizing that dedicated petition judges would be a more effective approach.
We need to go back and finish this business of election petition courts. Why can't we pick 20 judges, make them election petition experts? When there's an election petition, they sit on it. You draw them from the normal court, they sit on it till it's done, and the process stops at appeal. We need to do this and avoid all these issues.
The former Lands and Natural Resources Minister and former Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Yunus Afuseni, referenced the Techiman case in the Supreme Court related to the Pandai election rerun, noting the factors that influence the court's ruling.
About if something before the Supreme
Court. Except that the lethargy of the courts delay the process. So let's get the things clear. There's clear law here. Let me answer your question before I come to the clear law. So the certiorari application in Parliament stands on two things.
Certiorari application in the Supreme Court
stands on two things. A supposed Gazette notification that was issued on the 24th, and another alleged Gazette notification that was issued on the 6th. Now, so you see, that right of the petitioner to go to court to challenge an election results or the validity of an election rests squarely on Gazette notification. It is what triggers...
Which was the matter?
It is what triggers the rights. And we know in law, where statutes confers a right on the person and provides the procedure, you not only have the right to take advantage of the provision, but you are also compelled to follow the procedure. That is actually what the rule of law is about.
Yes, no problem.
Okay. Away from that, government has reaffirmed its commitment to achieving the 30% renewable energy target by 2030 through the launch of 76 action points focused on mitigation and adaptation. The Minister of State for Climate Change and Sustainability disclosed this at the German Embassy JoyNews Climate Talks debriefing event in Accra. JoyNews' Mama Vita Sefakote has more in this report.
This year, the German Embassy organized 7 dialogues in collaboration with JoyNews to address Ghana's climate challenge. Subsequent to these, a debriefing event has been organized in Accra to address the outcomes of the dialogues. This is in alignment with Germany's commitment to proactive climate policy, emphasizing in local engagement, knowledge sharing, and collaboration to address climate challenges and promote sustainable development. Speaking at the event, the Minister of State for Climate Change and Sustainability, Isifu Seidu, outlined government's bold interventions to ensure a sustainable climate change program by 2035.
The NDC prioritizes 3 non-negotiable areas: the climate adaptation, mitigation, and ensuring a just transition to renewable energy. It sets ambitious goals, including achieving 30% renewable energy by 2030. This process will culminate into the updated nationally determined contribution 3.0, featuring 76 action points, 60 focus on mitigation and 16 on adaptations. And you will see this when we finally launch that.
The Deputy Ambassador of the German Embassy, Savine Johnson, highlighted the benefits of adopting alternative clean cooking methods along Ghana's coastal belts.
I think it is often underestimated that cooking the traditional way and using firewood and charcoal has not only very tough effects on the climate, so it pollutes the air quite significantly, but also devastating health effects and even can be a cause of death. And to look into alternative solutions for cooking that are much cleaner would be very beneficial for the communities and also for the environment.
Government says implementation of the action point will be key to achieving the renewable energy targets within the proposed timelines. Mamavi Sefakwate's report. Read to you.
Now to other stories and social initiative and literacy and development program, Moses Dramani Luri has warned the country could be sitting on a time bomb if the rights of non-citizens, particularly Fulbis, are continually violated or infringed on. He asserted that Fulbis or persons who are of Fulani extractions living in the country have been denied access to certain rights, particularly the Ghana card or non-citizens card, though they have qualified for it. Speaking at a stakeholder engagement in Tumu, Moses Dramani stated that in order to maintain the relative peace enjoyed, there is a need to discuss the issue thoroughly and appropriate measures taken to address it. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Tumu.
The stakeholder engagement organized by the Social Initiative for Literacy and Development Program, SILDEP, in collaboration with North Code, under the CAPO project dubbed Bridging Borders, Fulbi Integration and Cohesion for Resilient Communities, was attended by district chief executives and coordinating directors, assembly members, and opinion leaders in the Sisala East Municipality and the Sisala West District. Also in attendance were staff of the National Commission on Civic Education, Social Welfare Department, the Ghana Immigration Service, and some Fulbe chiefs from Kasana, Barama, Legme, and Pozane. Chief Executive Officer of SILDEP, Moses Dramani Luri, threw further light on the project.
This project therefore aims to build mutual trust between stakeholders, strengthen early warning and conflict resolution mechanisms, promote legal awareness, and support inclusive local development planning.
Moses Dramani Luri catalogued various laws enshrined in the country's constitution that spoke of fundamental human rights, administrative justice, and yet certain categories of the people in the country are denied that right.
Cannot access many social amenities, including traveling, without a Ghana card. And our information Kelechi indicate that some of the Fulani that are with us here are older than all of us in this room. They have exceeded the 90 days clause. Some of them were indeed born here. We are even told that some of them were here before independence, before Ghana came into being. But these people are heavily discriminated. They can't open bank accounts if you don't have what? A Ghana card. When they travel, you know what happened.
He warned that the country could be sitting on a time bomb if the rights of non-citizens are continuously infringed on.
We have to use all legally possible means to ensure that we protect the non-citizens that are within our borders. If not, we will be sitting on a timing bomb. When communities understand their rights and obligations, tensions reduce and cooperation increases. When football families feel safe, respected, and integrated, they contribute more effectively to local development. Likewise, when host communities feel empowered with accurate information about national laws, pastoral mobility, and security systems, they become partners in building peaceful and resilient.
Technical lead for North Code, Andrew Dakurugu, spoke of the need to maintain the relative peace the country is enjoying.
Peace and development are inseparable. Without peace, your development efforts will not succeed. And even when you seem to succeed, one conflict event can come and wipe out 10 years results to achieve. So we need the peace to sustain the development.
Present at the function was the Sister East Municipal Chief Executive Adamu Yakubu.
We are aware of recurrent tensions linked to access to farmlands, grazing forests, water resources, and cultural misunderstanding, armed robbery. In some cases, these challenges have escalated into conflict that affect peace, livelihood, and development. I therefore want to use this opportunity to challenge our Fulani community to support the community members to fish out the partners that are among them that are actually disturbing the peace and unity that exists between community members and the Fulani community.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Tumu.
Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashida Hassan Pelpo, has reaffirmed the commitment of the NDC government to improving the working conditions of workers in the country, including the Ghana Armed Forces and Defence civilian staff. Speaking at the annual West African Soldiers Social Activity, WASA, held at the WA for the 10 Mechanized Battalion, Dr. Hassan Pelpo asserted that the government was aware of the sacrifices and commitment made by officers and men of the armed forces and civilian staff despite the huge challenge, and is prepared to retooling them and to improve their working conditions. JoyNews' Upper West Regional correspondent Rafik Salam again report from WA.
The West African Soldiers Social Activity, otherwise known as WASA, is a festive gathering for military and security forces in Ghana and other West African countries, often featuring music, food, and camaraderie, and observed at the end of the year. The 10 Mechanized Battalion, which has a hippo as its totem, headquartered at Wonderpobokole, held a traditional annual event attended by important dignitaries, including the Minister of Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashida Hassan Pelpo, Command Logistic Officer, Northern Command, Colonel Francis Kauba, members of the Upper Regional Security Council, traditional rulers and officers, and men of the home of the hippo. General Officer Commandant, Northern Command, Brigadier Franklin General Wolanyo Agbegbo, in his speech read on his behalf by the Logistic Officer, Northern Command Colonel Francis Koba stated that the 10th Mechanized Battalion continued to stand tall as one of the dependable units of the Northern Command, distinguished by professionalism, discipline, and operational excellence. He noted that the year under review has been demanding, narrowing it to the evolving security situation along the northern borders, the activities of terrorists and violent extremist groups within the sub-region, and the persistent threat of cross-border infiltration have tested the resolve of the forces. Despite these challenges, he posited that the battalion demonstrated remarkable vigilance, resilience, and unwavering commitment to mission accomplishment.
The discipline and dedication displayed by all ranks have not gone unnoticed, and I commend you sincerely. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the commanding officer and Omes Gamatrov personnel on the successful completion of peacekeeping mission in South Sudan. Your professionalism, discipline, and commitment projected the image of the Ghana Armed Forces, Ghana as a whole, and the international stage. To the personnel who have returned, I urge you to seamlessly reintegrate and augment the efforts of your colleagues who held the fort in your absence, ensuring continuity, experience sharing, and renewed operational effectiveness.
Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, and War Central Member of Parliament, Dr. Rosida Sembelepu, spoke of the commitment of the government to improving the working conditions of workers in the country, including the Ghana Armed Forces and the defense civilian staff.
As Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, I wish to reaffirm Ghana's commitment, our government's commitment to improve the welfare, working conditions, and overall well-being of all workers, including the personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces and defense civilian staff. Your labor, though unique in nature, remains fundamental national development and stability, and we do acknowledge all the sacrifices deep inside your hearts which you provide people of Ghana at the risk of your life to ensure that the rest of us live in happy lives.
Commander Ray of the 10th Mechanized Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Obrempong Kudwa, commended all ranks for their dedication and commitment to duty despite the challenges.
The year under review has been both demanding, marked by training activities and administrative responsibilities. Despite the operational pressures and evolving security challenges, officers and men of this unit remain professional, committed to duty and discharge duties effectively. I wish to commend all ranks for their dedication and resilience.
Beyond the food and the good music from the police band, there was also the stripping and assembling of rifles who thrilled the celebrants. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam.
To Techiman now, where a new front in the city's fight against hunger has opened its doors. Founded on one man's childhood memories of scarcity, the RNAQ Foundation has inaugurated a pioneering food bank that guarantees one hot, freshly cooked meal daily to anyone in need. A pledge hailed by traditional leaders as historic and a call to action for the communities well-off. And as Sabit has more.
In a world where headlines are often dominated by scarcity and struggle, a different kind of story is unfolding right here in Techiman. A story not about luck, but about community, not about waiting, but about serving every single day. The historic inauguration of the RNAQ Foundation's newest food bank in Techiman isn't just a ceremony. Traditional leaders hailed it as a transformative model of sustained support. Nana Kwame Brefi II is the chief of New Unyinase within the Techiman traditional area. Nowadays, it's difficult for one to even buy food for an individual, so for one person to feed hundreds in a day means it is a very good initiative. So the Nanonobi Techiman traditional counselor strongly in support of this, and we gave him our blessings. The driving force behind this initiative is Richard Ni Amakwe, whose commitment is deeply personal. Emmanuel Ni Lamte is the director of the RNAQ Foundation.
Mr. Kwe, whilst growing up and hustling through life, he said one of his worst moments is that there were times that he went to bed without food and he felt a pain of hunger. So he promised himself that if God blesses him and he worked very hard, what he's going to do is that he's going to ensure that people like him then will not go through that same agony. He will make sure that from first of every year to the last day of every year, on and on and on, he will make sure that he provides food to everyone who needs food.
Emmanuel Nilante emphasized RNAQ's commitment towards feeding the vulnerable with fully balanced diet daily throughout the week.
Mr. Rushinemakwe RNAQ Foundation says when you walk in here, you are not just getting carbohydrates, but you are getting on top of it protein. And then we will add the chilled drink to you also.
Nana Brefi further admonished the wealthy in our community to look at what one person with a compassionate heart has done and emulates him to help the needy.
He
appealed to all who are wealthy to help the needy because there are people who don't even have what to eat in a day.
And the best say, Obia will some ye be out of
to support the poor to help them also pray for you.
Let you be up as a because any mama.
Beyond the daily meal service, the foundation's goal is to create a ripple effect, a call to action to more philanthropy, and a tangible safety net designed to minimize hunger one plate at a time. A powerful initiative born from personal experience, now delivering daily hope in Techiman. It is a reminder that the fight against hunger isn't just about grand gestures, but about consistent, reliable kindness. Alan Sabit, Joy News, Techiman.
Now, the founder and presiding Archbishop of the Action Chapel International, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, has called on Ghanaians to cultivate a spirit of gratitude to God and to the people who they work with, describing thankfulness as a key foundation for national growth and peaceful coexistence. Speaking at the 9 Lessons and Carols service of the Bank of Ghana, Archbishop Duncan Williams reminded the congregation that progress in any institution or nation is not achieved by individual effort alone, but through collective contribution and divine grace.
The Bible said, enter into his gates with thanksgiving. Why? Because thanksgiving is a statement and a declaration of one faith. It's a proclamation of your faith and of your trust in Almighty God, that you trust in God. It makes a statement. It's a statement of faith that God trusts in you. For the Bible said, he that comes to God must believe that God is. God is. He is. And he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You must believe that he is. So thanksgiving is an acknowledgement that God is, and that he's capable, that he has what it takes, that he has the power, that he's almighty, that he's Adonai, that he's present, that he is the beginning and the end of all things. Hallelujah. So thanksgiving. Then he said, into his courts with praise. Praise. There are different kinds of praises in the Bible. Like we have the word called Todah, Halal, Barak, Shaman. There are different kinds of expression of praise, but every one of them has to do with you doing something, showing expression. The other day, David was dancing as a king, the president of the nation of Israel, the state of Israel. And his wife was so embarrassed to have him, the king, dancing before the women of Israel. And so she called David to order and rebuked him. That how can you literally strip yourself and dance before all of these women of Israel? And David said, Micaiah, let me remind you, if you have forgotten who I was.
Yeah, that was you.
A herbal medicine physician at Jobed Herbal Medicine Clinic has indicated the majority of Ghanaians are walking around with severe health complications as they do not get the time to check their health status. Speaking at a free health screening organized by Compu Ghana as part of activities to reward their loyal customers, Dr. Samuel Ni Note Okai explained the need for Ghanaians to routinely check their health statuses. JoyNews' Mama V. Sefa has more.
The Junction Mall in Accra was filled with loyal customers of Compu Ghana Limited and members of the public as they took turns to check their health status. As part of activities to reward its loyal customers, the company organized a free health screening in partnership with Samsung, Pearl Mineral Water, and Gilbert Herbal Medicine Clinic. The herbal medicine physician at Gilbert Herbal, Dr. Samuel Ninote Okai, explained the need for public to routinely check their health status.
So what we are doing today is we are running a full health screening. In fact, it is free for almost everybody that will come around. And then from what we are testing, we are doing a lot of labs. We are starting from malaria, typhoid, H. pylori. We are testing for hepatitis B, HIV, which is on request based on the person's demand. Then we test that one. After that, we are also doing kidney function test, liver function test, testing for cholesterol. The tests are numerous. So based on some of them, based on what the person wants, then we just test for the person. For sugar and pressure, that is the baseline of what we are doing here. And then from what we've gathered so far, we realize that there are a lot of people who are at least walking around with some condition that needs urgent care, especially if you look at the diabetes and the pressure. A lot of people come with high pressures, high sugars, and then we've not even started the season yet.
Brand ambassador of Compu Ghana, Tema Kunkum, explained the rationale behind the free health screening by Compu Ghana.
Now, today, we decided to come out to do health screening. We've done one in Kumasi. We've done one at the Spintex branch. You know, we have a lot of branches. But today we decided to do our last health screening with Gilbert Herbal Clinic in collaboration with Samsung as well, because health is wealth. I mean, if our customers are sick, they cannot work to get money and come and buy from us because we think about them. That's what. So for the health screening, we're doing a general blood count. We are checking for malaria. We are checking for BP. We are checking for sugar. You know, it's very, very important. I mean, you know your sugar level, you know the blood sugar, the urine and all that. That's what we're doing for today. As I said, we think about our customers, so we're giving back to them in a healthy way.
Some customers also spoke to JoyNews on the relevance of the screening exercise organized by the company.
I came to shop and I heard the music and I saw somebody I knew. So automatically I have to test. And once it's free, so I took it and I'm testing for malaria, typhoid, hepatitis. And these things are expensive at the lab. I don't want to mention any lab. I can go and ask. I'm a joke. So I'm happy. I'm
not going to hospital. Let me frank with you. So when I saw the opportunity, since I was told that there's a health screening outside, so after they brought me here and I decided to do it.
The final draw will be held on 26 December 2026, where the most loyal customer will be awarded the ultimate prize, a sleek black SUV. Mama V. Safa report read to you.
Welcome back from the break. Now, the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, has reviewed plans to commence 24-hour operations at Kofi Fruit and Juices Limited. Speaking during a visit to the factory and the Asebu Citrus Factory, the minister noted that the facility has strong international export potential, adding that the ministry will provide the necessary resources and engage relevant stakeholders to ensure a steady supply of raw materials to feed the factory and boost production capacity.
Minister's tour was to assess operations at Kofi Fruits and Juices Limited and strategize how best the ministry can integrate the factory into the 24-hour economy agenda. The director of operations at the factory, Frederick Obna Akwa, highlighted challenges affecting the factory's operations, including inadequate raw materials.
Kofi Juice is happy about the patronage, but obviously, once you're not seeing us on the streets as much as you would want to, there are challenges. So some of our challenges that we have penned down and then are working towards in conjunction with the ministry, and indeed with the Ministry of Agric, is to scale up our raw material support base, because that is what will put us on the tables or in the shelves in the shops. So what is happening here is that we have the capacity. Like we saw today, we have a 10-ton-an-hour fruit processor. We have the man, the labor, we have all of it. Now the shortfall or the missing link there is the number of fruits that we require here. So if we're talking about 10 tons per hour, we are talking about 100,000 fruits every hour. So if we are working at full capacity, that is what we'll be missing. For now, we as a company are working because we don't have raw materials to the point that we need it. We're working around somewhere around 20-25% of our capacity. So it is important that we work on the raw material base so that we can hit full value. So the minister's visit for us couldn't have come at a better time.
The Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, explained that government is committed to providing the needed resources and support to begin a 24-hour operation.
It is obvious that they have capacity to do 24-hour economy, which is a new thing on the block, but obviously they are not doing it. One of their major issues include raw materials, which we have to look for ways of making sure that they have enough raw materials to run 24 hours. As ministry responsible for agribusiness, we are not only interested in value addition, we are also interested in the provision of raw materials at the right quality and right quantity at the right time to feed the industry.
She also adds that the ministry will engage stakeholders into large cultivations to help feed the factory.
We can help with people who are also interested in let's say pineapple cultivation in large quantities just to feed the industry. And so from here, we'll have the discussion and then take steps. We know what we do to get the land, to get people to invest in that space. And since this is good, and especially helping us in import substitution and export, we'll do whatever it takes to make sure that Kofi comes on stream to its full capacity. So the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry will continue to assist as many factories as possible that we can and are also ready to receive our assistance.
From Ekumfi, Abigail Lisson Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
Now, away from that, the Atwa West District Assembly says it is scaling up efforts to protect the Atwa Forest Reserve, which in recent days has been facing degradation owing to activities of illegal miners. Dubbed the Forest Techiman Project, the United Nations University Institute for Natural Resources in Africa has been leading a partnership with local authorities and other stakeholders to explore more effective ways of empowering local communities to co-manage natural resources, safeguard the environment, and promote sustainable livelihoods. Dr. Ferdinand Tonye is at a UN university.
So the communities that are at the buffer of this forest need to do a lot to be able to maintain this special forest. And in doing this, we adopted a CREMA approach, which is a community resource management area. And for us from the university, United Nations University, our inputs have been to provide capacity in terms of natural resource governance, in terms of sustainable agriculture, in terms of sound environmental practices that would enable the community protect their forest, and then their natural resources in terms of water. This place is also of interest because there's a lot of degradation happening because of mining, the popular name called Galamsey. And communities, when empowered, are able to make sure that all activities in the environment are in tune with the laws of the country. We also adopted the CREMA approach, where with the other partners formed a CREMA called a Tiwa West CREMA. And the CREMA, after going through all the processes, developing constitution, accountability framework, that was what we support them to do, accountability framework, and also went through all the various processes to develop a bylaw, which is a CREMA bylaw for the District Assembly, the Tiwa West District Assembly. This bylaw has been published in government bulletin and it's gazetted. So as part of the exercise, we need to come and do sensitization or come and build or show back the bylaw to the District Assembly and all stakeholders to be able to understand the bylaw and be able to implement or apply it. So we brought also from the community all the key community leaders and the chiefs. The next process was to also sensitize the communities for them to understand that this bylaw has been published, it is in full force, and then what is their responsibility in terms of environmental stewardship. And that is what we're doing, going from one community to the other, trying to explain the bylaw. So we are very happy as a university with all our partners to be able to come this far. And we have the hope that things will be quite different in the community. The community is so enthused. It's the message have saturated the various communities, and they are willing to be stewards of their environment. So we want to recognize the support of the Techiman Environmental Foundation through the Chihine. He has been very supportive. And then also all the stakeholders. We are also very grateful to the private consultant, Dr. Jari, for his passion in supporting this project get to this successful stage. And
Meanwhile, Chief Executive of Tiwa West Municipal Assembly, Ame Johnson Anim, says that his outfit will ensure that the environment is protected.
What I'm seeing and what I'm reading through, it's worthwhile. That is something that can offer the sustainability of the environment that we are all desiring to have. When human population evolves and we increase in demographics, and people are not having lucrative means of living, they resort to destroy the environment or the physical environment that they find. And therefore, if we are going to have bylaws that are going to regulate the conduct of persons which are living closer to the buffer zones in the Tiwa West district, is something that we need to commend and make sure we work with it and enforce it. So as a DC Chief Executive, we will make sure we move heaven and earth to protect our environment.
We'll take a break here. We'll return with business.
So we shot 3,000 now. They chop 1 year.
Red. And the budget is becoming more like a mafia situation where if you are not very careful, it's going to engulf all of us.
Ghana's Galamsey fight has a hidden engine, a pay-to-destroy syndicate operating in the shadows.
If somebody must be in prison, it's those district chief executives and ministers and others who are doing the Galamsey.
We followed the money, we caught the players, we filmed the evidence. A tax for Galamsey. It's about mining, money, and authority. A Joy News investigation coming soon.
Welcome back. Now, economist and public policy expert Dr. Theo Champon says Ghana cannot afford to lose momentum in improving its public financial management systems despite the progress made in recent years. Speaking to Joy Business at a high-level policy dialogue on economic governance held in collaboration with the World Bank, Dr. Champon noted that while reforms have enhanced transparency and budgeting processes, several weaknesses continue to undermine effective fiscal governance.
I think we've made good progress when it comes to PFM reforms in Ghana over the years. I mean, you can go back 10, 15 years of various reforms with some degree of success and some challenges as well, as we were discussing. But one of the big things going forward really is, okay, how do you have an additional way of checking that government is complying or meeting with the rules that it has set for itself? So you know that April this year, we changed the PFM Act and made some amendments, two key ones being the introduction of two new fiscal rules. So the first rule saying that your public debt as a share of GDP should not be any more than 45% by 2034. And then the second one that we changed was also that you need to run a primary surplus of at least 1.5%. So primary surplus being you take your revenue, you take your expenditure, but your expenditure does not include your interest servicing costs.
Away from that, let's do other stories by bringing you, what's going to happen at the Joy Family Park. As parents plan activities for their children this Christmas season, the search often comes down to one thing: a safe outdoor space where kids can simply be kids. One event that has consistently delivered that experience is Joy FM's Family Party in the Park, an annual family picnic that has grown into a favorite for children, as well as even the parent. With games, play zones, and open spaces designed especially for young ones, the event has become a highlight on the festive calendar. My colleague Noella Karim Yali shares why children keep looking forward to it.
For children, play is more than just fun. It is how they learn, explore, and develop essential social and cognitive skills. Outdoor activities in particular helps children stay active, stimulate creativity, and improve problem-solving abilities, all while allowing them to interact freely with others their age.
So you just have that endorsement from these kids here who are enjoying the bouncing castle.
One event that continues to stand out as a favorite amongst children is Joy FM's Family Party in the Park. Held every December 26th at the Ibri Botanical Gardens, the family-focused picnic has become a go-to destination for parents looking to give their children a day filled with laughter, adventure, and safe outdoor fun.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to be here with the family to celebrate this wonderful day for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's a wonderful day, and we thank you for this wonderful gathering.
From colorful bouncy castles and interactive games to puzzles, Ludo, and other engaging activities, the event offers a mix of play that entertains while supporting early brain development. The wide open space also allows children to run freely, make new friends, and enjoy hands-on experiences away from screens and enclosed indoor settings.
Hi, what's your name? Can I sit on this? I can sit on it? No way. No, I'm not doing this again. Hi, what's your name? What? Okay, you're having fun on the bouncing castle?
Yes.
How long have you been here?
2 hours.
2
2 hours, and you've just been bouncing. Perez, you got a gift from Santa Claus.
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes.
You like the gifts?
Yes.
Merry Christmas, yeah? Okay.
As parents search for safe, engaging, and memorable outdoor experiences for their children this festive season, Joy FM's Party in the Park continues to tick all the boxes, offering fun, learning, and joyful moments children look forward to each year after year.
Well, and I guess you're preparing to be there this, this time around too, coming weekend at the Ebri Botanical Gardens. Let's get ready for your favorite Joy FM family party in the park. It's 26th of December. Yeah, I was going to push you way back, but it's 26th. So get ready for us to have that fun together. I will be there, and I am looking forward to meeting you as well. That's how we wrap up today's edition of the Joy Newsroom. Up next is, you can go onto myjoyonline.com for more news and information. My name is Samuel Kujo Brace. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon.